Hi, I'm Donna, and welcome to my simple retirement journey. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. And if you're a returning viewer, I appreciate you coming back. I'm a fairly new channel, and this is all new and exciting for me. So I hope I will be on for quite a while sharing my retirement journey and all the antics I get into. So here we go. um, I've had a few people comment why I live on mostly Social Security, and I really hadn't planned on talking about my prior retirement life, but I felt these were good questions, so I'm going to answer them for everybody, and hopefully that'll take care of that. And if you have any more questions, please comment. Okay, so way in the beginning of my adult life, my ex-husband and I married right out of high school, and we were married for 16 years, almost 16 years. And I was a stay-at-home mom for most of the time. So when we divorced, I really didn't have any marketable job skills. Now, I had started going back to college a few months before we decided to divorce. So I was working on that. And when I was a senior in high school, I took a bookkeeping course, and I really enjoyed that. And I had decided I wanted to be an accountant someday. So I got a degree in accounting. And after my divorce, a friend got me into an entry-level job at a large company in my city. And I was there 8 or 9 years. And while I was there, the company paid for most of my college because it was a business degree. And I graduated in 97 with a degree in accounting. And then after that, I moved on to other jobs. And the first job I had after 9/11, the economy tanked, and I was one of the newer accountants in the company. So it was kind of a last in, first out for those of you who do inventories. So I was the first to go. I was kind of surprised and disappointed. And then I worked for two other companies throughout the years, and they were both kind of on the medical side. One was a group home, and the other was a pain clinic. And both of the owners of these companies decided that they would overbill for Medicare, and they both got caught, and both businesses were closed. And I had two more job losses I hadn't planned on. And so I was unemployed in between jobs, and it was tough. It really was. And then I finally landed the last job I had in my working career, and I was there 8 years. And they're still in business. They're doing well. I guess third is the charm, three times the charm. And while I was there, I wanted to back up a little bit first. When I suffered my first or second job loss, I was listening to Susan Orman at the time. And she said if you were going through bad times, it was okay to use credit cards. And then when times got better, you could pay them off. Well, I foolishly believed her, and I incurred a fair amount of debt. Now I listen to Dave Ramsey, and my debt journey wasn't as bad as a lot of people, but it still seemed pretty bad to me. But anyways, I followed Dave Ramsey's plan. I think most of you know who Dave Ramsey is with his 7 baby steps. So I followed that plan, and I worked hard on paying off my credit card debts, doing the snowball method. You pay off the smallest one first, and then you go to the next one and get them all paid off. And I actually did that, and I'm proud of myself for that. And I finally got my debts paid off while I was working my last job. And the one thing I kind of disagree with Dave Ramsey, especially if you're older like I was, he says to stop saving for retirement while you're paying down your debt. And as I approached 50, I thought, I don't have a whole lot of time left in my working career. I don't have 20, 30 years to let all that your 401k plan accrue interest and all that. So I decided I was going to start contributing to a 401k and paying off my debt at the same time. And I think for me that was a wise decision. And when I got my all my debts paid off, I did contribute the max to the company that I could. So if you're still working, my advice would be to pay off all your debts before retirement and save as much as you can. That's the best advice I could give anybody. So that is my working career. I do have a small 401k. It's under 100,000. That's all I'm going to tell anybody. And I believe the laws keep changing. I know when I retired, you had to start doing the required minimum distribution at 69 and a half, and I'm that now. But now I believe they've changed the laws to you have to be 73 years old before you can start taking the required minimum distribution. And I'm not planning on touching my 401k. It isn't very large right now, and for me, not touching it is probably my best investment plan at the time. So this is why I live on mostly Social Security. I do have a small pension. It's $170 a month, and it's not a lot, but I'll take it. And we all have our own story. Some of us have been more successful in the money arena than others, and some have made a lot of money, but they've blown a lot of money too. So we all have our own story, our own journey. And I think for me, number one, I'm an accountant, so I enjoy working with numbers and I understand budgets and expenses and assets and all that. And just don't ask me to become a nurse because I don't know anything about the medical field. So we all have our talents, some are good at some things and some are good at others. And so when I was unemployed and digging out of debt, you learn how to live frugally, whether you want to or not. and I did want to say one thing. When I was purchasing my home, oh, it was hard. They asked for so many questions, more than when I was married and we bought a home. And I don't know if it's because I was a single woman. I don't know. You hate to say that, but 30 years ago, there might have been a little more prejudice than there is today. And anyways, when I was talking to the bank manager, I showed her my monthly budget, and I had included haircuts, that my children were still both at home. And she goes, "You've got haircuts in your budget." And I said, "Well, yeah, we each get a haircut once a month, and I know the money's there, so I don't have to worry about it. It's just a part of every month." And I think that really impressed her to help me get my home, because I truly did get bombarded with a lot of questions. So that is how I got to where I am today. And I think in our retirement journey, we all desire different things. I'm pretty much a homebody. I know I've got friends that they love to travel, and they get their nails done and their hair done, and that's fine. If that's what you want to do, go for it. That just isn't important to me. And I don't eat out much. I enjoy my own cooking. My one vice is I enjoy expensive yarn. I enjoy to knit. So I think as long as we can budget our money and enjoy things in our life, and we come out in the black every month with a little bit at the end of the month, that's fine. And do I worry about money in the future? Yes, I kind of do. Being a homeowner, I know things are going to break around the house. My furnace is 30 years old, so that's kind of on the watch bucket. And, you just never know. I had one person comment, she had some major medical problems, and that wiped out her savings. So she's trying to build it back up again. And that's hard when you're retired. So I think I live one day at a time. I try to save a little bit with what I have. And so I will be ready if, when the furnace croaks or some other thing. So anyways, thank you for listening today. And if you have any comments or suggestions, I do appreciate them. Simple Retirement Journey. Hi, I'm Donna, and welcome to my Simple Retirement Journey. If you're new here, I'm glad you stopped by to see who I'm all about. That might be a blooper.